The call came just after midnight. Her voice was trembling, not from love, not from longing, something else. Pain, desperation. "I'm at the hospital," she whispered. "Don't ask questions, just come." I didn't answer right away. I let the silence bleed through the line, let her sit with it. My heart wasn't racing. It hadn't done that for her in a long time. Instead, it was steady, almost rehearsed. When I arrived, the fluorescent lights painted her pale face in sterile honesty. She wouldn't meet my eyes. The doctor spoke instead, careful words chosen like stepping around broken glass. Infection, complications, an STD. I didn't move, didn't blink, only watched her clutch the blanket tighter, as though fabric could hide the rot beneath her skin. Her lips parted, searching for a story, an accident, a mistake, a shadow of plausibility. But lies require breath, and she had none left to give. So I stood there, motionless, cold. And in the silence between us, I already knew. This wasn't just a hospital visit. This was the autopsy of our marriage. They said she'd been on a girls' trip, a harmless escape. Photos of cocktails, beaches, laughter staged for the world to consume. But I remember her best friend's husband. The way his hand lingered too long on her shoulder during gatherings. The shared glances, the half-smiles, the small betrayals hiding in plain sight. Now, watching her tremble in that bed, the pieces aligned themselves with merciless precision. She spoke finally, the words breaking. "It's not what you think." I let her speak. A week of excuses collapsed into sentences that strangled themselves before reaching me. I nodded slowly, not in agreement, but acknowledgement of the script she tried to rehearse. Inside, the denial threatened to rise, a voice screaming, "No, she couldn't. Not with him. Not like this." But betrayal doesn't need confirmation to exist. It already does. And it corrodes quietly, long before the truth claws its way into daylight. I didn't confront her. Not then. Not in the hospital with monitors beeping like a metronome for our disintegrating bond. I went home, sat in the dark, listened to the echo of her absence. Her phone lay on the kitchen counter, carelessly abandoned. I didn't have to look, but I did. Not with frenzy, but with surgical patience. Messages, deleted, then retrieved. Photos tucked into hidden folders. Reservations booked under her maiden name. His name appeared often. Too often. Conversations blurred between logistics and intimacy, between secrecy and inevitability. I printed them, quietly, folded them into an envelope, slid it into the drawer beside my bed. Days passed. She returned home weaker, feigning fragility as cover. I played the part of concerned husband, nodding, cooking her meals, letting her sleep. On the surface, I was gentle. Underneath, my mind sharpened like a blade. Every detail mattered now. The way she avoided her best friend's eyes when they visited. The way silence filled the room when his name came up. The world was speaking. I only had to listen. The test results came back, clear, undeniable. His strain, his infection, not mine. I didn't shout, didn't rage. I waited until dinner, when the house was quiet, the lights dim. I placed the folder on the table between us. She froze. Her fork trembled, then stilled. "What is this?" she whispered. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. Her hands shook as she opened it, as her own words stared back at her in print. Every secret, every betrayal laid bare in black ink. She gasped. Tears welled. Her voice cracked, pleading, explaining, drowning. I only watched, calm, detached. "Say something," she begged. I leaned back, studying her like one studies the final moves of a doomed game. And when I spoke, it was with a softness that cut deeper than any scream. I already knew. The next day, I made sure her best friend received the same envelope. No note, no explanation. Just the truth, raw and unfiltered. I didn't wait for the fallout. I knew it would come. By evening, her phone was ringing endlessly. The best friend's voice on voicemail, breaking, raging. Another home destroyed, another trust severed. My wife sat on the couch, hollow, staring at nothing. The weight of exposure crushing her from all sides. She turned to me, eyes swollen. "Why would you do this?" I smiled, faintly, though not with joy. "Because you built your lies on borrowed ground, and now it's caving in." Her sobs filled the silence. I remained still, my power in restraint. She wanted anger, violence, a scene to latch onto. Instead, she was met with quiet indifference, the sharpest blade of all. I didn't leave that night. I didn't comfort her either. I simply existed in the same space, a reminder of what she had lost. There were no more lies left, no more excuses, just the raw ruin of choices that could never be undone. I felt no pity, no longing, only clarity. Betrayal, once exposed, strips everything to the bone. What remains is truth, cold, unflinching truth. And as I walked past her, broken, collapsed into herself, I felt nothing but release. The marriage had died long before the hospital. That night, I simply buried it. Final line: sometimes revenge is nothing more than silence, leaving them alone with the truth they tried so hard to bury.